guys, this is Pamela from Hands Greenlife Trees, and welcome to our YouTube channel. It's just another good day. It's good we've been receiving a lot of rainfalls, and today I'm going to show you one of our nursery sites. As I said earlier on, we have four tree nursery sites that belong to Hands Greenlife Trees. So this is just one of them, and just to begin with, at this nursery, and especially on this other side, we have seedlings that are still young. Like as you can see on the upper part, we have some K-apple tree seedlings. This is K-apple. K-apple is a tree that is used for fencing. It creates very nice live hedges, and it's thorny. At the background, you can see a lady. She's trying to remove some weeds from the polypod. She's one of our regular workers here. And as you know, I work a lot with women and girls. I have just a few men for some heavy duty jobs, yes. So that is, she's called Mama Eva at the background, yes. She's doing some weeding. Yes. Can you say hi to people?
Hi, I'm calling Judy. I work from Selang.
Yes, yeah, that's her. So, as you can see, we have some seedlings that are still very young in this site. Like these ones they're just young gravelias. These ones are about 1 week old. So they were pricked from the seed bed into these pots. You know, people, we always sow seeds in the seed bed, and then we remove them one by one and prick them into these pots. So this is the work of that lady at the background. This is what she does, yes. So this is a whole lot of gravelia, those still very young. Then this side we also have acacias, not all that young, but I think in 2 or 3 weeks time, they'll be ready for transplanting. So this is acacia polyacantha as you move downwards. So we can move to the other side as well. On this side of the tree nursery, this is Dovialis capra, or the K-apple tree seedlings. These ones are not ready for transplanting as yet, but I think in a month's time they'll be ready. As I said earlier, Dovialis capra is used for making live hedges. They are thorny. Yes, so when somebody plants or a farmer plants them in a hedge, up to some height, then they are intertwined to make a very thick hedge that nothing can pass through. This is a line of acacia polyacantha. Acacia polyacantha is a very good agroforestry tree. We always advise our farmers. It incorporates very well with the crops. It's a nitrogen fixer. It can be used as a shade tree, and it produces very nice fuel wood. So farmers are advised to plant this one for firewood, for shade, for nitrogen fixation, and we always advise them to use it in making green walls in the farms because of its nitrogen fixation nature. But this is flat top acacia, or the acacia polyacantha. And as you can see, like the tubes that we use, this one is a 4-inch tube. We always use these 4-inch tubes for majorly for these indigenous species. And it's open-ended, so it's always a roll that we cut into some definite size and leave it to be open-ended like this. And when we put them in these open-ended tubes, you see at some point the roots will be passing through. So we cut the roots. That's a process called root cutting. And during root cutting, that is one way of hardening off the plant and making it ready to be planted in the field. I'm going to show you about root cutting in the other plants. So this is a whole lot of acacia polyacantha. As you can see, this one is Dovialis capra, moving up to downward. So let's go to the other side as well as I show you. On this side we have eucalyptus grandis. This is eucalyptus grandis. And you can see the size of the tubes that we used. These ones are open-ended tubes, you see. It's an open-ended tube, and this is Eucalyptus grandis. This is just ready for planting. So what we do when it's ready like this, we do what is called hardening off. In hardening off, we do root cutting, and when we root cut the plant, it will develop some fibrous roots which will enable it to anchor very well in the field. A well-hardened off plant doesn't die so easily. Yes, so we always harden them off from at the nursery, and when hardening off, we do root cutting. After root cutting, we don't water frequently so that it starts to adapt the kind of life that it's going to face outside in the field. Yes, so that's Eucalyptus grandis, and on the other side we have this is cypress. Yes, you can see we've used very small tubes. These are about 2.5 inches in diameter. It's about 2.5 inches. This one is already root pruned. It can be planted in the field. Yes, so the reason as to why at times we use this 2.5 inches tube is for easy portability. Because at times we have clients who always come with some kind of crates that and wants to carry many of these plants. So we use this one for easy portability. Yes, so here this is an indigenous tree, and this indigenous tree is called Croton megalocarpus. Croton megalocarpus is one of very nice hardwoods, and it's also a very gives a very nice shade when in the compound. So like as I said earlier, this is what root pruning does to a tree. This one is already root pruned. It's 4-inch tube and open-ended. So when it's root pruned, it develops this fibrous root. So it means that this one can really anchor well in the field. And it will really be difficult for this tree when planted to die. No, it won't die. This one will not die because it has developed this fibrous root. So it will anchor well and will be able to feed properly when put in the soil. So this is called Croton megalocarpus, an indigenous tree. Then we have this one here. This is Macamia lutea, and this is another type of tube that we use. This one is closed tube. It's not open at the end, and this is 4 inches. So these ones we put for if we have clients who are coming from far, or if we want to transport these tree seedlings to far places, we put them in closed-ended tube because the soil will not pour down from down the tube. So this is called Macamia lutea. Macamia lutea is an indigenous tree just around this place here. So on the other side, we have another indigenous tree. Its common name is Nandi flame, or the African tulip tree. And this one, scientific name is Spathodea nilotica or Spathodea campanulata. So we also have a lot of it here. It makes a nice shade. It can be planted on the highways. Yes, and this one is also root pruned already because as you can see, it has started developing the fibrous. We are just getting ready for the rains. The rains are here. So we are getting ready such that when a client comes, he or she doesn't get us off guard. And we would really wish to be giving out the seedlings that are well hardened off, that is not going to die in the field. Yes. There's this one here that I've not shown. This one fears a lot of rain. So when it's raining too much, it tends to look unhealthy. This is called moringa. Moringa oleifera. Moringa oleifera is it's a herb. This is a herb, and it's meant to treat some diseases. We always advise our farmers to be incorporating it in their farms. And it does well with crops. It doesn't affect crops because it doesn't have a wider canopy. Has got a lot of benefits from the leaves, are used as vegetables. The leaves are used as medicine, and the seeds are also used to cure some diseases. So that is called moringa. Moringa oleifera. Here we have acacia polyacantha. I think I've talked about acacia. We do a lot of acacia because we train farmers on forest gardening. And in forest gardening, when we are establishing the green walls, we advise them to use many of these acacia on the outer wall because it offers protection to the plants that are being to the crops inside the farm. And in as much as it offers protection, it also fixes nitrogen into the soil. Yes, so we advise our farmers to use acacia polyacantha on the outer wall of their green walls, yes, in the farms, yes. So there's also this agroforestry tree. This is called Acrocarpus. Acrocarpus becomes a very big tree. This is the tree. I think you can show them the tree and how far it has gone up there. Yes, this one is very nice for fuel wood, and it doesn't affect any growth beneath it. We advise farmers to use it because from it they can produce very nice food. You can see fruits, not fruits but fuel wood, because you can see how the trunk is. Yes, so it's called the Acrocarpus. Then we have this other one here. This one is in the same species as the Croton megalocarpus. It's called the Croton macrostratus. It's also an indigenous tree and grows a very fast growing one and a very hardy one. Yes. As you can see, this lot looks a little bit sick, but they're not sick. These are called wildlings. They are the trees, the seedlings that we collect from underneath a big tree. So, when it rains like this time, you'll find that maybe some seeds from that big tree drop downwards and then they start to germinate. So when they germinate and it's so wet on the ground, we go and collect the seedlings and then we come and put them into the pots. We call them wildlings. So these ones are about 3 days old. So they'll recover and just look like the rest of these ones here. Yes. This is Macamial here. I think I've talked about it. One of the very nice hardwoods around. Well root pruned already. Yes, and produces very nice wood. We always advise farmers, apart from using gravelia or any other alleys, we also advise our farmers to be using Macamial to make alleys in their farms, just because of its wood. So, you see, like we have most of these indigenous trees. We know that these one, things like eucalyptus are easily harvested. But for these indigenous trees, it's not easier. Like you can harvest eucalyptus maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, depending on whatever you want to do with the tree. But something like macamia, something like Croton megalocarpus will take time. So to rehabilitate or for environmental sustainability, we always advise that they use the indigenous tree species. Yes. So this is another lot of the wildlings. Though these ones, we collect them when they had already grown so big, but since they are under this shade, they'll be okay. Yeah, I think in 2 or 3 weeks' time, you won't believe what they are now. This is gravelia, though it's not yet ready for transplanting. They're still young. A very good agroforestry tree. We also have a lot of gravelia here. This gravelia incorporates so well in the farms, and most of the farmers have gravelias as alleys in their farms. Yes, this is gravelia, and the size of the tube, this is 3 by 5 inches. It's sealed, so any tube that is sealed can be transported far. So, and we always sell our trees when they are over 3 feet tall. Like this one is remaining with about 1 month, then it will be ready. Yes. This is Caliandra. Caliandra is one of the best agroforestry trees. Caliandra is a nitrogen fixer. Caliandra is fodder, and Caliandra incorporates so well with the crops because it doesn't have a wider canopy. You see the leaves. Even if a farmer doesn't have livestock to feed this, he can use this one as green manure. The leaves as green manure because they contain a lot of nitrogen. Yes. So we always advise our farmers on when making green walls, We so much advice on use of acacia polyacantha. We so much advice on use of Caliandra calothizers, because Caliandra is nitrogen fixer, acacia is also nitrogen fixer. So when they put acacia on the outer side, it provides a lot of protection. Then on the second line, we can do Lucina or Caliandra for nitrogen fixation as well. And we'll also get, the farmer may also be able to get fodder from that, yes. That is called the forest gardening. This is also macadamia. I think I've talked about it. I've also talked about acacia polyacantha. So on this side, you can see this is a whole lot of eucalyptus grandis. Yes, we do a lot of eucalyptus grandis. Like this time we've done it here in plenty because we have an order for it. And I think in 2 or 3 weeks time, somebody will be coming for them. So by the end, by mid-April, they'll not be here. These ones are already hardened off and are ready to be taken out. Yes, for planting. And on this side, as you can see, we also have some few eucalyptus which are still very young. Then here we have empty. So these empty pots only come out as a result of rearranging. So because anytime we arrange the pots, then prick into them, then we come back and rearrange, you'll get some plants have died inside, and then there again rearrange, waiting to be pricked into some plants. Yes. So on the other side we have we still have plenty of Dovialis capra. That is the Cape apple. Then here we have Casuarina or the whistling pine. Whistling pine can be planted as an ornamental, or it can be planted as a woodlot. It has a hardwood. This is a hardwood plant, not softwood, because it resembles the pine, but it's not a pine. This is Casuarina, not whistling pine. Yes, the whistling pine is just a common name. Yes, so as you can see, we still have lots and lots of eucalyptus. This was not yet ready, but in 2 or 3 weeks time, they'll be rearranged and then they'll be hardened off and ready to be planted outside, to be taken out for planting. Yes. I think I'm done. No, before I end my video today, this line here. This is a line of empty pots. These empty pots were made just the other day, and when it rains, we always have these empty pots in readiness for our wildlings that we may collect. Because as I told you, when it rains and then we go beneath any big tree, we'll find some seeds that maybe we didn't collect but managed to germinate beneath this tree. So we come and transplant them, or rather prick them into these pots. Yes, so that's also an easy way of collecting seedlings, or rather of making seedlings. Instead of getting the seed, coming and germinating it, we also collect the ones that have already germinated by themselves under the trees. Yes, so on this line, this is where we germinate our seeds. Like you can see, we have a very simple temporary bed here, and I think there are some seeds just here. Charlie, do you have something here? Yes, I can see some seeds. These are macadamia seeds. I can see some are germinating. Yes, and here we also have another seed bed. This one is a seed bed of Casuarina. Yes, there are some seedlings here. Not yet ready for breaking out. And at this nursery, you know, in every site, water is a must. For the seedlings to survive well, there must be water. So we always use this stream here. This is an outlet of a dam. The dam is just over there. And at this site, water is permanent. There's no water problem here. But the problem is now accessibility. Yes. So since we have water, we can produce lots and lots of trees this side and move it on the upper side, which is more accessible. Yes, and this dam never dries up, so it's so nice using this water here. Yes. So I'm so much grateful. I've been able to show you about this side, and as I promised, I'll be showing you much and much of what we do. And it's now rainy season. We are expecting our clients will be coming for the tree seedlings. And I think that's all for today. I'm Pamela from Joint Hands Greenlife Trees. Support our channel. If you've not been able to subscribe, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joint Hands Greenlife Trees. Thank you. I hope sasa iko.